this first. Okay, let's go.
Sambanani, hello everybody, Keisha Tinani, I'm Keisha Tinani.
What's up, good people? I'm KGB, Kahiso Mabule.
Yeah, you can find us on all social medias. Kakiso, what's your social media tags?
At KGB with a dash on Twitter.
Yeah, then me, it's KESHO _Tinani, Instagram, Facebook, just catch us. Yeah, welcome to the show. uh Hashtag Hood Affairs, that's the
Hashtag Good
program,
Affairs, you know what it is.
and we scholars, we readers, and we very passionate about the future of Africa, our continent, home.
Yeah.
So what brings us here today is we've always wanted to do this,
So
but
we've been doing it a minute.
yeah,
We just haven't seen some of the outcomes. But
exactly.
today we just felt like, you know what? Something very interesting is happening in Africa. And we're very concerned as
Youth,
we could say youth, soccer
adults,
age.
young adults.
But yeah. So you know how it is, man. We had the Africa Free Trade Agreement signed and promulgated, in fact, beginning of this year.
Yes,
And
sir.
that's why it's a momentous occasion that
Yes, sir.
in July, we wake up to the news that, in fact, one of the catalyst projects within this whole diaspora trading and intra-Africa trade,
Yes, sir.
as we've been following with, the dollars making their way to Africa with a lot of you guys, coming back home, and we appreciate that, right? And we're just trying to add to that dialogue, but we're taking a different scope into this because we'd like to just flesh out what's happening in terms of, or rather, bring a scope and flashpoint to what is currently ensuing in Nigeria as
Yes,
far as
sir.
the Dangote refinery and the Nigerian regulator. What are they called?
NMDPC, Nigerian Mainstream Downstream Petroleum Regulators.
100.
That's one of the agencies that deal with petroleum and regulation in Nigeria, and
Hundreds.
they are the commissioners. The license gave us to the Dangote Group, and
Just to bring that example before you go in further, Keisho, make an example to our South African audience. You guys are currently dealing with the 200 Rand electricity hikes, and they were approved by who? None other than NERSA,
Yes,
National Energy Regulator of South Africa.
yes, sir.
So that is what the counterpart
Yes,
of
sir.
this organization and regulator that Keisho just referred to, that is in Nigeria.
Yes.
And as you know, AU politics, and we're referring more to the
Thank
trade
you.
aspects of this. And all you already know why it's a big deal, right? I mean, in South Africa, we've been crying over interest rates, electricity, current, not just currently, but on an ongoing basis, being increased for the last 3 years that I can remember. And why there's a momentous, or rather a momentous occasion as well, we just had the strike in Kenya, right? And that was because of what? Price hikes once again. You want to say anything about that?
And price, okay, you just said the price hike, né? Then, as a Pan-Africanist, we cry about these institutions, your World Bank, your IMFs, like institutions that were built with no black people inside the boardrooms, creating policies.
They were not
for
created
us.
for us. Then
But
they cannot be by us, right?
But the money that created these institutions were money created off of apartheid policies, Jim Crow policies of slavery. So we have to deal with those facts. And today's show is about the Elijah Dangote's refinery in Nigeria, which is a big deal. I mean, that's why we're making this video.
Yeah.
Because for you guys, you might take it, why are these guys taking this issue to this length?
Why are they not talking about Mapiano, Nigeria versus South Africa? No, we're saying, look, Nigeria, you can take the Mapiano, guys. It's fine. Just give us the oil. We'll privatize it for you.
It's just
we just had a similar issue with Transnet, our rail carrier, right?
Yes,
they're currently undergoing this privatization aspect. Brings about its own politics locally, with your progressive forces, of course, countering anything that the administration speaks about in terms of private public partnerships, right? But
Yes,
what
sir.
what are we saying about this? Because we're saying that we can learn from what is currently happening in Nigeria, and what do we aim to bring back home as far as the experience goes.
Exactly.
And we cannot bring home that much knowledge if, in fact, Nigerians themselves, from where I'm sitting, it's very sad to see. I was just telling my homeboy Keisha, who brought these news to me this morning. As much as we're all keeping abreast with current and international
Affairs.
affairs, geopolitics, you mentioned it. That's how Keisha and I always stamped about that. In fact, we rebel about it too. Umrebulo wethu, it cannot be progressive, right? If we don't take the examples of Kenya and Nigeria into consideration. I'm not even going to speak about the Central African Republic and Burkina Faso.
All these
What's
states,
ensuing currently with
like
those
all these states, all our neighbors.
tri nations taking on the francophone imperialists, right?
Yes, sir.
I hope I'm saying it right, but you know what I'm getting at. Francophone speaking countries, they've got their own imperialists, and those imperialist forces are currently, taking part in proxy wars, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you don't understand what a proxy war is, guys, then that's why you should just do some research and find out why we're so excited about geopolitics right now. Because we cannot focus too much on what's happening with Biden and Israel.
No.
In fact, we should be taking out all this time to, in fact, speak more about our issues so that as much as they're trying to sort out their issues, if I say they, you know who I'm referring to, hopefully. But as a Pan Africanist, I see what's happening in Nigeria currently as a very, very sad
Oh,
situation
that's why
because
we're making this video.
it's black on black, right?
It's black on black, man,
But it's
and
an
it's
extreme
sad.
form of black on black. Like
Cause
I
it's,
never thought I'd live to see. You see?
cause it's like you stop in progress. Like you stop in progress. Like imagine taking food out your own mouth. That's
Look,
what's going on
and we're
right
saying
now.
that because we just
Huh?
heard Dangote himself speak at a panel discussion that some of that diesel, I'll just speak about one. Forget the jet fuel, forget the
Yeah.
potash, right? That we
Yes, sir.
desperately need to grow our own food.
Yes, sir.
We need that in South Africa. Hence, I said you can take them up, piano. Just give us some of that oil, right?
Exactly.
If you need some of us to intervene as far as I don't know, because this is a sovereign state, but hopefully trade is going to liberate Africa in this way. The more we have these discussions, the more we try to make the powers that be, these regulators, understand that no, look, your power ends with the pen, with the regulation. Anything further and above that, leave to the market.
Yes,
That's the game that we're playing here,
yes,
right? And Dangote is a person who is a capitalist, but in this instance, he acted in a very socialist manner because what was he trying to do?
Thank you for saying that, man. You just put it in a light because when we use the word capitalist, you'll think of this greedy man who's just all about money.
Yeah,
But this is a Pan African capitalist,
100%.
dedicated to building his nation. Even the goodies, like he doesn't own any properties, he doesn't have any holiday homes overseas or whatever, because his money he's focusing in on building a continent.
Yeah, and
And
let's just bring some numbers into it so that we bring context to it. We will be shooting more videos. I hope you guys like this
the
first one.
first one,
Sorry that it's too all over the show, but with time constraints, I just want to mention this to you guys, right? 20 billion US dollars that Dangote spent on this refinery, right?
yes,
You have 2.4 billion spent monthly by Nigeria alone on petroleum,
imports.
currently mostly being imported. And then you've got the current, administration, or rather, the government in Nigeria. The last oil refinery that they had was in 1989, and it was commissioned, or rather, it was private partnership, once again, private public partnership. But BP and Shell had a lot to do with it. That was in 1989. Those are just flashpoints once again, right? Let's do more research into this. Let's find out why is it that in 1989, when it was BP and Shell that were building a refinery, why is it that it got to work? But why is it then if it's one of our own, a black man, then
We
all of a
have
sudden it
his.
can't work?
And guys, we you must understand right now the facility that this man built, Mr. Elijah Dangote, we held him like 650,000 barrels per day. The biggest, let me just read it, ranked above Europe's 10 largest refineries. Eh? This one is the largest and it does more work. Eh?
Hundreds. Look,
Come
also
on.
just to jump into that, as far as the refinery that existed before this one, the Nigerian government has spent over 20, or rather 12 trillion, trying to revive that old refinery. While in a private sense, in a private capital sense, Dangote has went and spent only 20 billion compared to the 12 trillion US dollars. What does that say? That they've been doing it wrong, clearly. And now we've got a person who's using what? Liberal ways to go about,
Taking care of business,
simply put. And then now
hiring
you've
kids.
got the regulators. One thing I was impressed about, I mean, having seen the refinery, kudos to you, Nigeria. Kudos to you, Mr. Dangote, and your family, because we're seeing black excellence like I've never
Like
seen.
science. That's the only reason I like watching Nigerian news, like Arise News and all that, because you see black people in prime positions
Shout out to
doing prime things. That's
We're
what
very
we want
much
to
inspired.
see. We're very so
South
inspired.
Africa is inspired. Entrepreneurs in South Africa are moved by what is currently happening in Nigeria. Don't stop youth of Nigeria fighting for what's right for you.
Exactly.
Don't stop youth of Kenya fighting for what is right for you. Don't stop youth of Central African Republic, Mali, and Burkina Faso fighting for what is right for you. With that, I say to you guys, Africa, let's unite. And that's my piece.
You know, we always heard of the word renaissance. Like our former president, the second president of democracy, Mr. Thabo Mbeki, used to have his African dream. And his
Still very
African,
much alive.
very much, his African dream was the
We're
African.
products of
What is a renaissance, guys? Do you know what a renaissance is? We need the arts, like this whole piano, Afrobeat,
battle.
thing. It's good. It's good because it's
It's good for competition.
for development, for something to develop, especially a nation. The arts are important. The arts are very important. Your music,
And
your
we've seen that already.
your creative department.
The
So here
results,
we come to
why
the
that's good.
industrial side of all that. This is the industrial side, what Mr. Dangote initiated.
And I like
Yeah.
what you just said, because why is it good? Why is competition good? If it's healthy competition.
Yes, sir.
But what does not bring about healthy competition is people trying to be gatekeepers.
Yes, sir.
Nah.
That's the point of this video.
Your time is up.
Gatekeepers.
For me, I'm telling all the gatekeepers out there,
your time is up.
It's over with you.
It's over. We're here.
We're here to take care of business. You know, most of the things that you couldn't do, right? You can see we can do them, you know, from our back rooms.
Yes, sir.
You know, from our one bed apartments. You see what I mean?
Like leading. I'm on Instagram, X, all these leading the comments, and because this whole Dangote thing is trending.
I need to do the same actually.
So the comments, I love reading comments. The comment sections are very important to me, to any topic of political interest.
Check out my boy on Twitter. What you say your handle is?
Kesho Tinani.
Spell it out for the people.
KESHO_THI.
You gotta be slow. You gotta be slow. Spell it out.
It's Kesho Tinani. KESHO.
KESHO. Yeah.
Underscore. THINNE. Tinani. That's it. Please follow me. And please follow my boy KG.
At KGBWITH. That's with a dash.
Cause like where was I? Like guys, man, like
we're talking about the comments, which hopefully will refer to some
The
of it
youth
right
are
now.
crying, like Nigerian youths. They like they're like crying, and you ask yourself, how is these regulators thinking when the youth is educated? They're very and
We're
a
well informed.
Nigerian youth is very educated, especially graduates. And they like fully behind this guy, and here goes a few men. I don't know. They have interest with sabotages of the African development, because you must understand, I will not back down telling you guys that we have sabotages of the African Renaissance, of African being beautiful, has sabotages in these Western countries that don't want us to excel. And
Yo,
they're very scared that we can do all that.
that goes without saying, my man. We can bring it closer to home, right? Once again,
Yes, sir.
economic sustainable goals, green energy.
Yes, sir.
That's all I'm gonna say. Coal versus wind and solar.
When you take me there, like before the coronavirus, it was, no, we going green. No, we going, what is this? Social governments. What is
Spending.
ESG, environmental social government? That was like the new word in boardrooms.
That's the word I'm looking for. ESG, right?
ESG.
I made up my own. I said SEG.
No,
Sustainable
it's
economic.
ESG, environmental social government.
It tells you how much you take these acronyms seriously, guys. The point is, these people are trying to sabotage a good thing, right?
So before Russia invaded Ukraine, and we'll get back to the more videos. We'll do that. We'll explain all that in the videos that are coming. These people like green this, green that, green that. Russia invades Ukraine, and it's all this. Now they don't want to buy energy from Russia. They're not going green anymore. The green revolution is not working to their standards. They want to go back to coal and stuff. But they like, you guys cannot go back to coal. Something we have abundance of. We can't go back to them, but they want to go back to it. And we're going to be like, okay, you guys can do it because Russia is blocking whatever. No, man.
Remember, we already took the money from Europe, from EU. So we have to go ahead. And so have a lot of actually other companies or other countries in Africa. But why am I bringing that to light is that, look, I want you to just dwell more on that acronym. What did you say it is?
ESG.
What does it stand for?
Environmental social governance. It's something 100%. That should be implemented in the boardrooms of every company. Every company has to dedicate a certain amount to.
Look, I think for that one, let's do a whole other video, because this is my thing. We're thinking about BlackRock right now.
Kakisa, you know better than me that
all these guys.
You know better than me that
World Economic
this
Forum.
This is our first video.
So we're gonna
and we're gonna kill it.
And my acronyms are not in order right now, right? But I'm gonna get the acronyms.
We're gonna kill it because, like, geopolitical, I think nobody's gonna do it better than us.
You know how we do, bro. And that's why we got each other. That's why we're doing this.
Nobody's gonna do it better than us.
Affairs.
We're gonna kill it like that.
Straight out of Togo, you already know, man.
Broadcasting, you can see the environment. So, like, we believe in tiny steps. We cannot be there in like a second. We're gonna say,
And we believe in taking the hood with us. That's why it's Hood Affairs. You see what I mean? Because in the hood, we're already facing all these challenges, right?
And by us saying Hood Affairs, the word hood, it can be translated to a hip hop term for a ghetto or something. But you must remember, a hood is your neighborhood. You can be in Beverly Hills, you can be in Santin, you can be in Ikoyi in Nigeria, or any other classy suburb in Africa and Europe. But the word hood is about your neighborhood.
Word. With that,
please,
I'd like to sign out. For me, Keisho.
Yeah, just the first video, and we're gonna go dwell deep into the Nguti saga and
ESG,
other
we coming for you.
And other
blockchain, we coming for you.
Don't even talk about that. Don't even talk about the whole blockchain revolution, because that's one thing not even African governments are scared of. Even Western governments are scared of the whole blockchain revolution, Web 3.0, because those things are gonna revolutionize how we do things, how we
Let me
buy,
tell you
how we
something.
vote.
They already are. It's just that most of y'all are sleeping on them.
And
To be honest,
but like it's like when it comes to blockchain, there's no cheaters. There's not gonna be no cheaters.
I'm gonna tell you this.
The only cheaters are gonna be
You said it
the coders.
during the week, or while we were just talking. Why is everybody speaking about what's that island in South America?
El Salvador.
El Salvador.
Bitcoin heaven.
But nobody speaks about
Central African Republic, which made Bitcoin legal tender before El Salvador.
Those are the politics that we seek to discuss. I hope you find them interesting.
Yeah.
We definitely look forward to seeing some of your comments, reading them. Let's enlighten each other. Let's correct each other progressively.
And
see what I mean?
If you have any suggestions for any topic you want us to dwell in that we research on, please let us know. We're gonna have books, we're gonna have merchandises, and many more things, prizes. You're just gonna hear like the community we build, and even around our own local government.
You're gonna hear
area, like we're trying to do things. We're always trying to
localization,
create employment for people around us. So
localization is a buzzword. It cannot just work for some and not for others. That's all we're saying with this video, right? We saw how the supply chains were disrupted because of the Russia-Ukraine war, as they put it.
So we must depend on ourselves, and we can do it. But there are gatekeepers
100%.
that don't want us to succeed in all that.
I don't want to say any gatekeepers right now, but I'm not going to start talking about the COVID relief funds, because then it's going to get too personal.
I'm pointing fingers.
Yeah,
I'm pointing fingers.
Yeah, we're pointing fingers.
Hey, yo, peace, people. We love ya. We gonna see ya soon. No mind.
We're going to pause it.
Peace, son.